The Mesozoic Era is one of the most fascinating chapters in the history of life on Earth. Often called the Age of Dinosaurs, it was far more than just giants roaming the land. It was a time of incredible change, evolution, and adaptation that shaped the planet and the life on it for millions of years. In this video, we will explore every aspect of the Mesozoic Era, from its origins to its dramatic end, the life forms that dominated, and the secrets that fossils have revealed. The Mesozoic Era began approximately 252 million years ago, following the greatest extinction event Earth had ever experienced, the Permian Triassic extinction, sometimes called the Great Dying. During this catastrophic event, nearly 90% of all species were wiped from the planet. Life on Earth was reduced to small populations of survivors, but as the planet slowly recovered, new groups of plants and animals began to evolve. Among them were the first dinosaurs, reptiles, and early mammals. The Mesozoic Era would last for roughly 186 million years, ending around 66 million years ago. And it is divided into three major periods: the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. Each period had its own unique environments, climate, and remarkable life forms. The Triassic period, 252,201 million years ago. The Triassic period marks the beginning of the Mesozoic Era. The world was still recovering from the Permian extinction. Large deserts covered much of Pangaea, the supercontinent that contained almost all of Earth's land masses at the time. The climate was generally hot and dry, with seasonal monsoons in some regions. Early Triassic landscapes were dominated by small reptiles, amphibians, and the ancestors of crocodiles and turtles. It was during this period that the first dinosaurs appeared. Early dinosaurs were generally small, bipedal, and carnivorous. Examples include Eoraptor, one of the earliest known dinosaurs, which was only about 3 feet long. Triassic dinosaurs were not yet the massive creatures we often imagine. They lived alongside other reptiles, including phytosaurs, crocodile-like predators, and temnospondyl amphibians, some of which were enormous. Interestingly, the Triassic also saw the appearance of the first mammals, small nocturnal creatures that were barely the size of mice. These early mammals were overshadowed by the dominant reptiles, but would play a major role in later periods. The Triassic ended with another, though less dramatic, extinction event that paved the way for dinosaurs to rise to dominance in the Jurassic. Fun fact: some of the earliest dinosaurs were likely feathered, or at least had proto-feathers, though this is debated among scientists. These features might have been used for warmth or display, hinting at the evolutionary connection between dinosaurs and modern birds. The Jurassic period, 201,145 million years ago. The Jurassic period is perhaps the most iconic period of the Mesozoic Era, often imagined when people think about dinosaurs. During this time, the climate was warm and humid, forests spread across continents, and shallow seas covered large areas. The continents began to slowly drift apart, forming new coastlines and creating diverse habitats that supported an explosion of life. Dinosaurs had become dominant by the Jurassic. Massive herbivores such as Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus roamed the forests, feeding on tall trees and low-lying plants. These giants required enormous amounts of food, which led to the evolution of tall trees and abundant vegetation. At the same time, predators like Allosaurus and smaller carnivores hunted in packs or alone, maintaining balance in ecosystems. The Jurassic also saw the rise of the first true birds, Archaeopteryx, with its mix of feathers, wings, and dinosaur-like teeth, represents one of the earliest known transitions from dinosaurs to birds. Flying reptiles, known as pterosaurs, dominated the skies. Some species, like Pteranodon, had wingspans over 20 feet, making them the largest flying animals of their time. Marine life also the seas were home to giant reptiles, including plesiosaurs with long necks and flippers, and ichthyosaurs, dolphin-like predators. Coral reefs expanded, providing habitats for fish and invertebrates, and the oceans became dynamic ecosystems full of life. Fun fact: some herbivorous dinosaurs may have traveled in massive herds, migrating seasonally to find food. Fossilized trackways suggest that certain species moved in organized groups, much like modern elephants. The Cretaceous period, 14566 million years ago. The Cretaceous period represents the peak of dinosaur diversity. By this time, The continents were approaching their modern positions, creating new oceans, mountain ranges, and climates. This period also saw the evolution of flowering plants, or angiosperms, which transformed ecosystems and provided new food sources for herbivorous dinosaurs. Famous dinosaurs of the Cretaceous include Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor, and predators grew larger and more specialized, while herbivores evolved defensive adaptations such as horns, frills, armor, and spikes. Feathers became more widespread, not just for flight but also for display, thermoregulation, and communication. The oceans were ruled by mosasaurs, giant marine reptiles capable of hunting sharks and other large prey. Plesiosaurs continued to thrive, while early sharks and rays diversified. Flying reptiles dominated the skies alongside the earliest true birds. The Cretaceous ended in a dramatic fashion with the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event approximately 66 million years ago. A massive asteroid, estimated to be 10 kilometers wide, struck the Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The impact caused fires, tsunamis, and a cloud of dust that blocked sunlight for months or years. Global temperatures dropped, plants died, and entire ecosystems collapsed. Nearly all dinosaurs and many other species were wiped out. Only a small branch of feathered dinosaurs survived the ancestors of modern birds. Fun fact, fossil evidence shows that some dinosaurs may have been brightly colored with spots, stripes, and patterns used for camouflage or attracting mates. New imaging technologies have allowed scientists to reconstruct these colors in astonishing detail. Life beyond dinosaurs. While dinosaurs dominate popular imagination, the Mesozoic Era was also a time of incredible evolution for other life forms. Early mammals, though mostly small, continued to evolve. Insects, fish, and reptiles flourished. Coral reefs expanded, flowering plants changed terrestrial ecosystems, and new niches were created for life to explore. Birds evolved from feathered theropod dinosaurs, marking one of the most important evolutionary transitions in Earth's history. The Mesozoic Era also shows us how life responds to environmental changes. Continental drift, climate shifts, sea level changes, and volcanic activity forced organisms to adapt, evolve, or go extinct. Fossils from this era help scientists understand patterns of evolution, adaptation, and extinction that still influence life on Earth today. Legacy of the Mesozoic Era. The Mesozoic Era lasted nearly 186 million years, an enormous stretch of time compared to the existence of humans. It was a period of giants, evolution, and survival. The dinosaurs, both herbivores and predators, became the icons of this era. But it was also the time when mammals, birds, and flowering plants began their evolutionary journeys. The landscapes, seas, and skies of the Mesozoic Era were dynamic and full of life. Mountains rose, seas shifted, and continents drifted to new positions. Even today, we see the Mesozoic Era's legacy. Birds soar through the sky as living dinosaurs. Fossils in museums reveal ancient ecosystems. And the continents themselves bear the marks of this incredible era. Studying the Mesozoic helps us understand not just the past, but the forces of evolution and survival that continue to shape life today. In conclusion, the Mesozoic Era was an extraordinary chapter in Earth's history. From the Triassic to the Jurassic to the Cretaceous, life evolved in remarkable ways. Dinosaurs ruled the land. Marine reptiles dominated the seas. And early mammals and birds began their journey. The end of the era was catastrophic, but it set the stage for the rise of mammals, including humans. The story of the Mesozoic Era reminds us of the power of change, adaptation, and survival over millions of years. It is a story that continues to inspire scientists, historians, and anyone curious about life on our planet. The Mesozoic Era may have ended long before humans appeared, but its story is alive in fossils, in birds, and in the imagination of everyone who dreams of a world where giants once ruled the Earth. By exploring this incredible era, we gain not just knowledge about the past, but a deeper understanding of life and the forces that shape our world.